Okie dokie, and we're live. So today, the plan is to continue on with our file uploader yet again. I don't know last time I said okie dokie, not gonna lie, but we should, live stream should be connected. Let me just like triple check. Yeah, all right, cool. So, file uploader as usual. But today we're going to get into backend stuff. So we're actually going to do the file uploading part, or like the file management stuff. So, you know, yesterday we were doing yo, how's it going, Sajal? We were doing the front end mostly, so finish that off, and then we're going to be defining the database schema. So, yo, how's it going, Hustler? Welcome, welcome. So, ooh, why did that turn black? I've never seen that do that before. Interesting. I don't know if I changed a setting. It's really strange. Let me see here. I'll leave it. Looks fine. Okay. Yeah, so that's the plan. So we're going to define our file entry, file entity. We'll be starting my dev journey. Awesome. Glad to hear it. Bro, after day 30, I'm visiting again today. Great consistency. I appreciate that. So it's been like it's been 100 days since you've been here. But yeah, I appreciate it. So yeah, let's get started. Actually, we're going to need to look at our schema. So the planned schema that we're going to have is it's going to have an ID. Each file is going to have an ID. It's going to have a path. It's going to have a level, and it's going to have a flag, whether it is a directory. Should probably also have like an is start and is trash as well. I don't know if this is how I want to handle it, but we can do that. So, so path level is directory, user ID, which is attached to, created at, updated at, is start is trashed, and then the data of the actual file itself. So that's kind of what we're going to be implementing as a schema. So we're going to import pg table, and then, oh wait, hold on. Drizzle orm pg core should be a lowercase now. And then we're going to say export const file entity is equal to pg table. And then we're going to name it. So we're going to say file entity or something. Yo, someone sent a gift. What even is that? I don't even know what that is. Brex, thank you so much. I'm not sure even what that is. Am I not using Prisma? No, I'm using Drizzle now. I switched Goth. But I appreciate the gift. I don't know. I don't even know. Does it say? Let me see. What is that? What is Drizzle? Drizzle is another ORM. Oh, gift, never saw it, new feature. Yeah, I appreciate the gift, Brex. Thank you so much. I'm not sure what that is, but thank you. I don't even know. I added a little alert, but I don't even know. Like now there's like a little guy, he's like hunched over. That's pretty fun. Maybe a super chat. I don't know if it's a super chat. Is a super chat and a gift the same thing? I have no idea. But that's the first time you are It's officially the first person that's ever sent me a gift on YouTube. So thank you so much. So cool. It's super chat in a gift way. Oh, awesome. Got you. So I'm assuming that's like, I can't even see how much that was though. Doesn't even show. I appreciate that, Brex. But yes, you're the first gifter ever, so there you go. So let's do our ID, and we'll do, let me just go to the reference, because I'm kind of forgetful when it comes to this stuff. So let me go to the docs. Should be, I guess we were already on the docs. I think if I zoom out, there's should be like a way of selecting our different schema. Yeah, but there should be a way of selecting the different, yeah, here we go, column types. Ask Brex how much it was. Oh, are you switching to Drizzle right now or learning Drizzle? Yeah, so I've switched to Drizzle. Goth, that's exactly it. I'm just kind of, it doesn't even matter how much it was though, realistically. I appreciate anyone that decides to give me a gift. It's much appreciated. So let's go to the, where's the string here? So we have text. Am I doing any job or student? Yeah, I work in IT, Brex, but that's my day job. So you can read my FAQ here. That's the wrong command. Hold on. FAQ. There we go. That's fair, Goth. I wasn't sure, but it doesn't matter. I just couldn't see it. I couldn't see how much it was. I saw it like in 100, but okay, yeah. So we need is it text? I guess it would be, right? Because we have ID text primary key. But I want to like generate I want to generate a UUID or something for the file schema, right? So if I go to like CUID, let's see UUID here. Yo, how's it going, SB? Welcome. Brex has around 900 points. Got you. I'm not sure. I'm assuming 1 point is like a cent or something. So that's like $9. If that's the case, then I really appreciate it. Okay. Because I can do text ID dot primary key dot but I need to like actually generate a default value, right? So let's see, Drizzle default CUID. Let's see. It's your register function that will be called on the insert update. Default random. Okay, so I can do it as a UUID. Okay. So that is a thing that exists. So I can do a UUID dot default random. Oh wait, this is changing the wrong thing. Whoops. Then we can import this guy. There we go. That's what I wanted. Okay, so now we have a UUID generated. Man, see, sent to gift again. See it? I don't think I can see it. How long have you been working on this? A little over a week, SB. Google Drive clone. What are you storing the things? I haven't gotten that far yet. I just spent I spent a while working on the authentication. I can show you guys the front end if you'd like to see it. Here, let me show you what I've got so far. So you can see here that we've got this front end with this you know, this little side panel here, and you can also you know, sign out, and then if you're new to it, you can create an account or you can log in, and then we're using Better Off here to handle the authentication, so that works. None of these buttons work yet, but they're going to be hooked up to stuff. Yeah, so we spent most of the beginning working on that, so that's what we've got so far. Kind of learned how to do this. The UI library is shadcn, so am I working as a software engineer? Absolutely not. I work in IT. I am not nowhere near good enough to be a software engineer. I'm trying to be, but you know, it's slow progress, right? But I work in IT as I'm basically like a systems analyst, which is kind of a broad term. I do a lot of different things at work. All right, so we need a path, right? So we need a path, which is going to be I think it's going to be a text. We're going to do a text path. Dot default is just going to be the root, of course. So, and then we're going to do a level, which is going to be a integer, which is going to be level, and then dot default, we're going to say 1 is the default on that guy, I think, right? And then is directory. Actually, I might want to put these flags at the bottom, now that I think about it. So let's actually put the user ID up here. Is going to be a text. Let me just make sure it matches this. User ID references. Or do I need to put the references there? I'm not sure. Not null references user ID on delete cascade, yes. So not null. Actually gonna put a not null here as well. And then dot references user.id, and then we're going to import this guy, and then on delete cascade. And the reason we want on delete cascade is so that if we delete a user, then all of its associated files get deleted. So that's kind of the idea there. So that's good. Okay, so let's do the created at. Is going to be a timestamp. Created at, and then we're going to do dot default now, which is going to be when it's actually when the entry's created, right? And then updated at, or modified at maybe. Timestamp modified at dot default now as well. And then we're obviously going to need the data as well. Maybe I'll put the data here. It's just going to be bytes. Although, what is it called for drizzle, or is it byte? I forget the name of the type here. That's seeding. Let me go to data types. Byte A. Yeah, I think this is what we want. Because if we're uploading files, I mean, files are just data, right? So we can even look this up. We can say drizzle upload files. And the thing is like, I know there's a common, you know, it's you kind of have there's a I was kind of told by one of my audience members earlier that if you're storing large files, usually what you need to do is you need to have your database, your main user database, not actually store all of those files. You usually store a pointer to those large like blob files on, you know, another storage medium, or whatever it is. But we're just gonna be working with small files for this file uploader thing. Like, it's just gonna be like, you know, under a megabyte. So I'm not too concerned about storing the actual files on the database itself. I just need to figure out how to what the data type is. I think it's bytes, but I'm not. I just want to make sure. This is Hano. No, it isn't. This is Hano's here, which is what we're gonna need that eventually. This is also Next.js. I'm just seeing it has integration with Drizzle though. I just want to make sure. Quick REST API. Yeah, so what does this look like? So we have the routes, but I need the data stuff. Here it is. Here it is. File name, created at text not null. Where's the data? Okay, so it's a blob. So we actually can have blob as a type here. We also probably want this to be not null as well, right? So this we're going to import from, or maybe it's not blob, maybe it is byte A actually, because we're using Postgres, right? Because does this use SQLite? Okay, so it would be byte A. Yeah, from PG. Okay, so that's good. Yeah, so that's fine. Just kill the dev server, because we're not going to be working with it right now. Okay, yeah, so this is good. Character strings just allow 0 octets. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. Okay. So I think, I mean, and then we can add the flags underneath, right? Hey man, how are you? I'm doing all right, Eric. How are you? You know, pretty average Sunday, I would say. Let's do an is. We'll do an is directory. Is going to be a Boolean, which is going to be from this is directory dot default is false, right? And then is starred is going to be a Boolean, is starred dot default false, and then we can probably just like copy this guy, right? Because we're going to do an is trash as well. Instead of having the trash be like its own directory, we're just going to have it be marked, right, as such. So I think that's like probably good. Wow, you're learning Hano. I made a tool for Hano file-based routing, by the way. You might like it if you like file-based routing. That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, this kind of stuff is like, okay. So when you say file-based routing, you mean like in the sense that you put different, like, so instead of having like a router object, you basically just put your different like route definitions inside of like files, like based on like what it is like in the actual code. So like you manage your routes with the file. That's pretty cool. Yeah, that's awesome. I honestly am not too concerned for this project because it's gonna be kind of small, but that's definitely something like I'd be interested. Like you can post it in the Discord. Honestly, that I'd be interested to take a look at that. Maybe off stream or something. The only thing is I'm not checking anyone's. I'm trying to be strict on not doing project stuff for other people on stream, only because I want that to be kind of like, you know, as my audience grows, and this isn't, you know, as anything against anybody, it's just as my audience grows, I can't, if I continue to do that, it's going to get to the point where people think that I'm just like you can't post links in chat, but people are going to think I'm just like a product or a project reviewer, and that's not really what I want to be, so I can't promise looking at other people's projects on stream anymore. Only because like I've gotten enough DMs of people asking me to review projects. I'm like, this isn't really what I want to do, and it's not you, I promise. It's just if I promise that, I gotta like you know pivot. But no, I appreciate it though, Eric, and I'll definitely look at it off stream, like 100%. Like it's something I am interested in. I just if I keep doing it on stream, yeah, like because it's interesting because like my audience has grown, and like I don't know, I'm getting DMs from people thinking that like I'm an expert, and I'm like, guys, I'm just a beginner, like, you know, like I'm just figuring this stuff out, you know, like it's nothing crazy. This is a bit of an old spec here. I'm not really using Prisma anymore. This is an old spec. I need to update it, but you know, so this is our file entity, and the reason I'm not just calling it file is because I don't want it to conflict with like, because if there's an existing file type or something, I don't want there to be like a name conflict. So I think we're like good to migrate this sucker, no? So we can do a pnpm run db generate, I think. Cool. No AI is a really bold claim. I mean, I haven't been using it, so. Let's see. Oh, because it can't read the. Let's see. Let's I mean, you can check all my videos. Like the only thing I've ever used AI for on my channel is to generate, like content for stuff. I appreciate that, Eric. And you know what? Here's the thing too, is like I'm doing, you know, my thing here. Okay, injected 0 from at an env. That's not. Oh, it's this. I see. I tried to do this thing last time where I had tried to modify the package JSON to allow using the at instead of these like these file navigation, like going to the parent directory or the parent directory sort of thing. I need to like fix that, but anyway, so this should now run properly, right? Yes. Okay, good. But yeah, okay. So now we should be able to check our, let's go to our, studio. Imagine being in day and age where someone think if you're not using AI, it's a bold claim. Yeah, I feel that. Criminology. I think there's such a pressure, like there's such a societal pressure to use AI, especially in the tech space. And it's like, you know, we can just do what we want, you know, like I'm here to show you that like if you don't want to follow like the latest, like for whatever reason, if you don't prefer it or you want to just learn the old fashioned way, like you very much can do that. And here, like I'm a live example of that. Like you don't have to just like sell your soul to the large AI corporations. Like they want you to, and they're doing everything in their power to convince you that, you know, it's the like their way or the highway essentially. But, you know, it doesn't have to be. You know, I think there's still like I don't think learning manually is ever going to be invaluable. And anyone who says that is, like, in my opinion, fundamentally, well, maybe they have a different opinion, right? Like they can say, oh, I prefer to learn with AI, and that's totally fine. But I think for me, like if you say learning manually is inherently bad and you shouldn't, to me that's like kind of like an anti-intellectual stance. Because if you don't like learning, that's totally fine. That if it's your opinion that you personally don't like learning manually, that's fine. But if you're gonna go and say to other people that you should never learn manually, like ever, then that's kind of like, I don't know, it's scary because like we're gonna get to a point where we're like a post-thinking society, and that's not really like a, you know, society I want to live in. So okay, let's go to our file entity here. So we have our ID, user ID. And we have a reference to our user here. So this is all of our, so we can see our schema here. Question, I understand learning ML because coding the ML is actually productive and requires innovation, but isn't web dev less bang for the buck? Yeah, honestly, you make a valid point, Block, but I don't know why my colors changed on my Pomofocus. It doesn't matter. You make a valid point. I'm just going to take my 5-minute break here. Yeah, what was I going to say? I'm not in it for the money, at least not right away. I'm in it to learn and to grow my skills, mostly. Yeah, you know, I'm not like, unlike a lot of these, you know, guys that you'll see that are kind of hustling and these sorts of things, you know, online. I don't care about how much money I make. I'm just enjoying the process and want to learn as much as I can. Maybe someday down the road, if I can monetize my skills and you know, do something with it, then that's fantastic. But, you know, that's kind of like not my primary focus. My primary focus is spreading the positivity of learning how to code and you know, actually being a good software developer, you know, in this crazy day and age, where like the industry seems to be kind of self-imploding a little bit. So yeah, that's kind of my thing. I like how you think. I appreciate that. Yo, Sword, how's it going? Yeah, I agree. I'm more AI agnostic. I prefer to learn manually as the knowledge sticks better for me. I landed my first IT job recently. Congratulations. And a lot of coworkers lean on AI, but I stick with Google. Yeah, I'm the same way. The only thing I ever use AI for at work is editing. Like if I'm making like documentation, like user-facing documentation, sometimes I'll get it to like make a more succinct version or something like that. But that's like rare. I don't do that super often. Great attitude, man. Money's just the byproduct of hard work. Yeah. Love learning is rare nowadays with screens and everything. I've noticed all that diminishing in myself as I use my phone and laptop more. Yeah, I think that is, in my opinion, is fundamentally dangerous. I think if we as a society are prioritizing, you know, entertainment and immediate gratification over learning and kind of intellectual satisfaction, like we're gonna be doomed. Yo, Jay, how's it going? Rooting for you and happy that this content still exists. Yeah. Well, if you want to follow me on my journey, I'd really appreciate if you subscribed. Means the world to me, honestly, as I continue to you know, spread the love of software development. I think AI just boosts viewership in any kind of title. Yeah. That's why I put the no AI, honestly. I kind of just put that to like, it's kind of like rage bait a little bit. But, you know, you should put it in front, no AI. I do remember you, stupid BK. I do. But yeah, no, maybe I could put it in front or something. I don't like to clickbait people, but, you know. Yeah, I don't know what the hell happened to my Pomodoro thing. Dark mode and running. I think it defaulted to, yeah. I don't know what happened. Yo, how's it going, Bullen? Welcome. But yeah, I don't know. I without fail, I should. You know what I want to do? I should get a counter in the bottom right of my stream that says like number of times somebody asked me why I don't use AI or something like that. I guess I've subscribed to you with around 400, 500 subs. Well, yeah. Now you got 3.4K. Yeah, I know. I've been hustling, man. Been growing. I'm doing well. I'm doing well. What you up to? Currently working on getting the file. I'm going to be working on the back end for file CRUD operations for my whatever it is, Google Drive clone. Nice, keep it up, bro. Have a nice day. Appreciate that. Why do you use AI for anything in life? Well, I mean, I do. Wait. You don't use AI for anything in life? Well, not entirely. Like, I use it very sparingly at work, and that's only because it's kind of pushed by my manager a little bit specifically for documentation. So sometimes I use our company's instance of Copilot to standardize documentation. So for instance, if I'm writing user-facing documentation on, let's say, some process, right? Anything backend related looks cool and scary. Yeah, it is cool. It's not too scary though. But yeah, no, I usually use it. Like, we have like a standard format for user-facing documentation on our service desk. And what I'll do is I'll take a bunch of notes on like a process, right? And then I'll get Copilot to just like use our template and then format my information, into that template, and then I edit it. That's the only thing I really use AI for at all. And that's only because it's pushed by management, really. And I don't really mind it because I just spend my own time editing its grammar anyway, and like making it sound less like AI slop and more like a human wrote it after it's generated. But it does. I will admit, it does save a bit of time. I just started my internship and tried working on my work item without AI, just some front end though. That's awesome, Cooney. I think the only thing you have to worry about there is if you're working for an employer, sometimes they'll get kind of angry if you're not using AI. Like, and I know this is true, right? But like, it's like if you're at work and you're like kind of forced to use it, then use it if it's on the company's dime. Of course, like like that's what I would say. But no, I think still knowing how to solve problems, even like front end stuff, is still very valuable today, despite what other people will tell you. And honestly, I don't want to be kind of a negative person because I try not to be negative. But I think when people say or like get angry at you for learning manually when they're using AI, I think it's, if anything, it's just maybe a insecurity on their part that they, are willingly offloading their intellectual capabilities to these LLMs and not actually thinking for themselves really. And maybe they're a little bit insecure that they can't, if it came to it, they don't have the skills, right? And they could rebut by saying, oh, well, I know how to work with AI and stuff like this. It's like, well, okay, but what are you actually doing? How hard is that? Letting AI do all the work while learning is really the worst thing you can do nowadays. Yeah. Yeah, I would agree. Again, I'm not here to tell people like their approach is wrong, because I think any approach is, valid, like unless you're like causing direct harm to people. Like if you're not hurting anybody, but you're learning with AI and you're letting it do all the work for you, but you're just doing it for yourself and for fun, then hey, free country, free, you can do whatever you want. Hey man, let's connect on X. I got you. My X link is in my link tree here, Eric. you can follow me there. So I don't use, I'm gonna warn you, I don't use X very often. But I do have it. I created it specifically for that purpose. Okay, so let's get back to it here. So I think this is everything we need for the file entity, right? So then let's actually I guess we could define some. I wonder if I wonder if I create a file name as well as a path. You know what I mean? That's the only thing. You could do file name. You could do name as text name dot not null as well. We can add a name to it. So we'll have the data of the file, the name, path, level, and then all the flags here. So I think that's good. So we'll just update. Oh, it's not. Let me just make a new terminal. Let's see, db or pnpm run db generate, and then we're gonna do push, and then that should update our thing here, right? So we should have a name attribute here now. In theory, there it is. Okay, nice. I mean, it's not really in the the same order, but that's okay. Tell me the one you use. Tell me that one you use. Yeah, I do use it. I just I just don't check it very frequently. To be fair, I give up and use AI like 99.5% of the time. I used to manually code for years and done with it. AI is pretty awesome now that the latest models like Opus 5 Fable doing pretty well. That's fair. There's nothing wrong with that. I like still to code manually regardless of what the models are doing, but that's a fair approach. I think you can do what you want. What is byte A? What function? What does it do? So basically, it's defining I can't speak. That this data here, because file data can be anything, right? Generally, like file data is just a bunch of zeros and ones, right? And that byte A is essentially just a string of data, like a string of bytes, right? Because the file, that's all a file is at the end of the day, right? So it's kind of like allows you to store a file. This is where the file is going to live. Thing when learning, AI should be used more as a tool reviewer to provide alternative to our code. Yeah, I would agree. I would agree too. If you're going to use it, that's I would agree on that one. So anyway, let's bro is byte A. I thought it was by T. Oh, got you. Yeah, it's byte A. So I think the reason for that, I actually don't know why the A is in front of it. It's the Postgres spec, right? So yeah, the other thing that I don't know how to do is when we start defining schemas for this, or not schemas, queries. I don't know how to like test file uploads with Postman, because I'm going to be doing this on Postman, right? Presumably. So we're going to actually create a new folder. We're going to do like file, maybe queries, and then we're going to do file queries.ts, and then we're going to start writing some queries in here, right? So that's what we're going to do next. So we're going to do a export const. How was I doing my queries before in my other project? I just wanted to see, I want to see the queries there. So I'm doing like select and, okay, that makes sense. Okay. So we're going to do like an export const insert new file. And then we're also going to do our type as well. Okay, let's see. What are your thoughts on reading the code AI wrote? There's a bunch of people that don't read. I think that if you're going to use AI to generate code, Daniel, I think it's imperative that you read the code. I think it's your responsibility to read the code and understand the code. And if you are not reading the code and you're pushing a dangerous change that you aren't aware of, you are fully responsible for, like let's say you're vibe coding an app and you push something that has a major security vulnerability in it or something like this, right? And you could argue, okay, Fable 5 doesn't make security vulnerabilities. Well, I don't think that's necessarily true. I don't know. That's just an example. But like, let's say you have, or some sort of like leak. There's some sort of like data leak or some endpoint that's exposed to the front end or something like this that the AI generates and you don't review. If you then upload that or put it into production and you get hacked and your data gets leaked and a bunch of your paying customers get their data leaked for something like personal data, then you are fully responsible for that mistake. You can't just say that AI fucked up. No, that's your fault for not reading the code and making sure that everything was sound before before pushing to production. That, in my opinion. So I think it's your right, not right. What's the term? I think it's imperative that you read the code if you are getting AI to generate stuff. I'm still a beginner, but I completely agree with it. Yeah. I think it's fine for AI to generate code. Like if you're a skilled developer, I just think you should also read it and modify it as needed. Why don't you use window manager like Yabai or Aerospace? It'll make your work faster. I tried Aerospace for a while, Zed, and I found it kind of slowed my workflow down. So I use Rectangle as my manager for Windows because it's simpler and I like simple. So, but I did use Aerospace for a while and I kind of found it difficult to manage and just kind of slowed me down. So, web scrapers are no joke. You can't just let AI do all the coding. Yeah, exactly. And then you often get like AI fighting AI, right? Like you'll get people that write AI malware, right? So it's like it's kind of silly. So let's do our insert here. So I'm just gonna import. So we're gonna say const file entity type. I think I called it file entity, right? Yeah. Is equal to file entity dot infer insert. I think that's what we want, right? And then we have our type here. And then we're going to need obviously the data for the new file. So when you're uploading a new file, what do you need to give it realistically? You need to give it, the data. So we need to say new file data, which is going to be what? So it's a buffer, okay. So it's going to be file entity type. Type, sorry. Or no, maybe not. How was I doing this before? Data. Type of. That's what we want. Okay, there we go. Yo, how's it going, Codex? Well, I use Aerospace and I use it for the alphabet spaces, so I keep my terminal in T, browser in B, and code editor C. Nice. Yeah. No, that's totally fine. You can do it that way. I just prefer to use Rectangle. I have the Pro version, and it also does allow workspaces as well. I just don't really have that many windows on screen. But I don't know. I found Aerospace kind of buggy a little bit. Like it was kind of, and it would kind of lag my machine a little bit. And that could be a user error. Like that could be my fault. I think Aerospace is a great tool. It wasn't for me after trying it for about a month. Or it was maybe even a little over that. But yeah, so we have our new file data, and then we have our new file path. Let's prettyify this a little bit here. So we're gonna do new file path, and then file entity type path. And then, oh, and you know what? The path also needs to be not null as well. What else needs to be not null? The level. We're going to need to remigrate and generate this. That's okay. I'm fine with doing that. Is directory needs to be not null. Is started and is trash. I guess it doesn't really, it's not hugely important. So let's regenerate this guy. And then re-push it. There we go. We're getting into the thick of it today. Yes, we are. I'm trying to rely less on AI and solve problems on my own. How did you handle being completely stuck and not knowing what to do next? It's not easy, Rovan. I'm not going to lie to you. I think, honestly, the hardest thing for me was when I kind of got stuck with trying to do this file uploader, which I've been working on and off for like over a month. And I think the most important thing that I did was take a step back from the project. So I got really stuck with working on this file uploader in a full stack framework. So I took a step back, built a simpler project, which was a to-do app, and then came back to the project when I felt a little bit more comfortable with it. So I think, like, that's not to say to give up. I just think it's, reprioritize what you're working on if what you're doing is too difficult. And I think that's okay to do, especially when you're in the kind of learning phase of things. So yeah, liked your stream because you are genuinely pushing yourself. I appreciate that, Zed. But no, I appreciate all the support, guys. Honestly, it's wonderful. Because I'm just here sharing my process, right? Like, I'm not here to say thou shalt never use AI. I'm not an anti-AI person. Like, I want to make that very clear. Like, I'm not anti-AI. I think AI is what it is, and it's in the world for better or worse. I am being true to myself and learning by my process and kind of sharing what that looks like. And there are a few of us out there, doing this, and I think that's a good thing. But if you want to vibe code the next $1 trillion app, be my guest. You can absolutely do that. That's just not my prerogative. That's all. Okay. So we need our path. We need a level, which actually could probably be inferred by the parent, right? Like, I think the path could actually infer the level. Now that I think about it, we could probably infer what level it's at based on the path, right? And then all this is generated. So we need a directory. We need a new file. We need a name for it, of course, right? So we have the data, the name, and then that's it. I think the rest can kind of be what it is. I think that's the only data we're going to need inside of this insert. Yo, how's it going, Sayam? Secret to find all the solutions in programming, learn to love reading. Everything you could ever wonder or want to know is in the docs. I'm just as new, maybe 6 months into it. Just grind. Yeah, exactly. I'm about 6 months as well, Codex, a little over. I'm no pro, but growing, and I can feel that growth is going to excel the more I keep going. Yeah, exactly. I will say, though, that the growth for me, or as far as like feeling, like I'm making progress, is kind of done a little bit like this. So there was like an initial phase where I was learning really, really fast. I was making a lot of progress, and then I was like up here. But then as the complexity like increased and the breadth of things to learn really increased, my progress kind of slowed a little bit, and I'm kind of in this like trough. But I can feel myself beginning to come out of that trough and then back into this like plateau, right, of learning. Speed, I guess. You can use TypeScript's omit and pick to make this easier, but your parameter would be an object instead. Yeah. I don't mind giving it individual things, Jay, because this would be coming from the API, right? So the API would kind of handle the stuff from the front end, and then it would send over the individual pieces. And I kind of like to visualize it this way anyway, because then it makes it clear to me what's going on. And it's also very readable to any sort of, if anyone was looking at the code, they can see exactly what data I'm giving to the query at a glance. So, I mean, again, but I hear you. I totally hear you. Search about the DDD layered architecture. I figured out you will learn the best vibe building. Yeah. Discipline feels painful, but later it becomes an addiction. Like you love showing up every day. Yeah, exactly. You learn fast at first because the basic project progress is easy. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, 100%. After it's slow because progress is slow as you actually have to implement complex tasks. Yep, 100%. Hit the nail on the head. What's DDD? Layered architecture. Domain-driven design. A layered architecture is a software design pattern that separates different concerns of a software system into different layers, with each layer providing a specific set of services to layer above it. Yeah, I see. Okay, so this is kind of almost like an operating system model. Like you have like the OS layers, right? That's cool. This is for higher, like more, involved, complicated software, I think. Most give up in the slow phase. The slow phase is when it gets good. Took me a couple tries to learn that myself. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, guys. Like I, have had moments off stream where I'm like, is this really worth it? Like, should I really keep going? Especially lately, as this project's really kind of slowed me down. But I continue to show up and I continue to make progress. And maybe I'm not working. And I will admit, I work probably at like a quarter of the speed on stream than I do off stream. But that's totally worth it, in my opinion, because I get to interact with you guys. I promise you I can implement this stuff much faster if I'm not on stream. But I love to talk to you guys as well and kind of showcase a bit of a slice of my progress. By building, could be that like building small things via tutorials, but also understanding the code. Do you mean like no YouTube, no AI, just use self-building things? Well, not necessarily. In that sense, wow. I think you can use YouTube as like another source of documentation. It's a principle where your business logic is self-contained and doesn't give a shit what technologies you're supposed to use. Now Drizzle and later you could switch to Prisma. You just change one file. That's it. Yeah, I got you. That makes sense. So you basically are having like, you expose layers beneath as like an API essentially, right? With standards, and then the layer above is completely like it's all abstracted. I see what you're saying, Satya. I'm like, it's like each layer doesn't care about what's below it, essentially. It's agnostic to it. If I will say so, let's say const new file is equal to await. We need the database as well. So let's import that from client, and then we'll say import database dot insert. And then file entity, and then I think that's how that works, right? Insert into, oh no, it's file entity like this. Then we need to, so we have import file entity, and then dot values. And then we'll put our values in here, right? So we'll say data is new file data. Name is new file name. New path is new file path. And then of course the level is going to have to be calculated as well. And then new is directory is new file is directory, right? This also needs to be asynchronous as well, of course. Using tutorials to start off is good, but later one should just jump into how to build X search, how it works, and start implementing, and then refine that way. You learn by a lot by making mistakes. Yeah, exactly. Rather than learning happy paths only. Yeah, I agree. No overload matches this call. Oh, am I doing something wrong here? I think, is it because we're not providing all the values, but these are all, there's all defaults here, so we don't need to give everything. And then this can also be optional here as well. And then I'm going to do that. I actually don't need to default to false. I think I can just leave it, because if it is in a directory, it'll default to false anyway, so that's fine. Eloquence. Tutorial hell catches a lot. They're looking for answers. There is no answers. There's tools. You have the answers. You have to learn to put the tools together. Yeah, exactly. What storage solution are you using? Literally just storing this in the database, man. I don't plan on uploading large files, but I haven't figured out like where I'm going to store the actual database on the cloud yet. That's like end game stuff once I'm done. So now I need to figure out, let's do a dot returning here. But we're still getting an overload error. Argument of type data is not assignable to type. Data SQL buffer placeholder string any name string. I think it's because, are these maybe undefined? Okay. Wait, so is the path not, oh, because I didn't remigrate maybe. Okay, well, these should all have the not null flag, no? Interesting. I should low-key build Drive. Seems like a good project, useful for future iterations too. Yeah, exactly. No, I'm just focusing on one thing at a time, Say. Really, is what it is. Like, I'm not going to worry about, let's kind of putting the cart before the horse a little bit. I want to get this to work, period, right? Okay, but I just don't know what this is all about. I wonder if this will even work. Return new file, right? And then, but we need to probably try catch this sucker, right? There's probably like a better, again, there's probably a better way of going about this with, instead of just dumping try catches like a madman. But, you know. Exactly, Codex, exactly. Yeah, that is true. The project does want you to use the database to store stuff. And again, I was even thinking of turning this into a file store where you can only store like micro files, like anything under a megabyte, right? So like I'm not wanting to store and host like videos and pictures and shit. Like this is just going to be like text data or something, right? Like it's just for practice, right? I'm not actually like, I'm going to deploy this, but it's not going to be for money. You know what I mean? Like I'm not going to market this. Like this is not going to be a SaaS or something. This is just for my learning, right? Like that's the other important thing to realize is like, I'm not concerned about these sorts of things because I'm not trying to make this into a business. I'm just learning. I'm just doing this to learn. So like what the actual files contain and where they're stored, at least at this point, like doesn't really matter to me. It's more about getting the logic in. But anyway, let's take another 5-minute break here. But this, I think it's because the type doesn't match here or something like this. Because there's something with like SQL, buffer, argument of type, it's not assignable to per type of data, name. Yeah, I don't know. How's it going, Dr. Cool? Deploying is just as much learning, to be honest. Docker VPS domains. Yeah, I've done a bit of Docker. Hated. But yeah, no, I think focusing on one thing at a time. And I'm not saying like I'm gonna deploy like a security mess, but like You're right. It is like it is kind of it's a whole entire thing. Like entire degrees exist for like DevOps, for instance, right? Have fun. Gonna go read for a bit before I hang out with the wifey. Awesome, Codex. Have a fantastic rest of your afternoon. But yeah, no, I agree with you. Hated. I've done a bit of Docker stuff. Like I have the database is containerized. Like I have the database running in a container. So that I did get that set up, and that just to get that set up was like probably about 8 hours of work of learning Docker and the basics, and you know how to expose ports and you know these sorts of things, and writing like Docker compose and that stuff. Like learning the concepts like container versus image versus having it stored, having the actual data stored in a volume that's not attached to the container, or that's referenced by the container, these sorts of things, right? And like that took me, like if you go back a few streams, like that took me like 8 hours probably on live, and then I did a little bit off stream as well. And that's just like scratching the surface, right? So yeah. But yeah, so we have this query now, but then I need to like figure out how to like, so I'm going to test this on Postman, obviously, right? But I need to figure out how to upload files, or like how that's going to work. Like, do I do that? I would assume I do it in a post, but we're going to dig into that a little bit after the break here. There's a can of worms, but it should be fun. Yeah. But I know like Hano file upload. I know there's like docs for this, right? Oh, it also probably should have, you know what I was thinking? Okay, you know what we also need here that I'm forgetting? I don't know, do we store the size, I wonder? We probably need to store the size of the file, now that I think about it. Do I have an open source work? What do you mean by that? Like, is this project open sourced? It will be. Do I need a file type too? Probably. Yeah, so right now, the project is closed source. Well, I don't have, it's a private repo until I finish it, and then I'm going to open source it. But if you're a member or a supporter of the channel, I haven't actually given them access yet, but if the idea is that if you're a supporter of the channel, you get access to the repos as I work on them. But then once I finish the project, it's open sourced. So that's kind of the. But all the previous projects I've done are on my GitHub. If you want to take a look at them. So all the previous projects I've finished are up there that you can see. Question for the folks who use AI at work: how have you balanced using AI while keeping yourself sharp? Yeah, that's not fully a question for me because I only use AI sparingly. But it's not even for coding. But that is a solid question, Amar. That is a solid question. I'm worried that this is kind of getting huge. What if we do like, not this, store files? See if there's like a, maybe not. I don't use it until I understand the subject first. Yeah, it's a good idea. I guess I could just get the length. I could get the size by the length of the data. No, I bet there's a way I could do that. But anyway, so let's do. I don't know why this is overload's not working, but I would imagine it's just a TypeScript thing. So I'm not. I wonder if it's because it doesn't know that this data is like defined. No, maybe not. I don't know. I'm not 100% sure about this guy. But we'll get there in time. So let's go to the, let's go to here, and we'll do a new folder called routers. And then we're going to do a new file, which is going to be file router.ts. And then we're going to name it const file router is equal to new Hano. I think it's just new Hano, right? To make like routers. I think that's how you do this. I'm fairly sure. Yeah, that's it. Okay. So then if we do, we're going to do an export const here, and then we're going to go into our index, and we're going to say app.use or app.route. Do I want to put this here maybe? We'll say slash API file or slash drive maybe. Maybe we could call it even like a drive router. Now that I think about it. Maybe rename this guy. That should be fine. App.use, I'm sorry, this is Hano. Yeah, it's app.route, I think. I think that's the right idea. Just add make no mistakes. Yeah. Okay, so let's go into this guy. And we'll make a new not folder. We'll say drive controller as well. And then we're going to make a route for that, right? So we're going to say const drive new file post. We're going to export this guy as well. And then we're going to give it data, of course, as well, right? So we're going to say, and we need, obviously, we need data for that. So let me think about where I need the context. So we need the C context here. And then Here's our file upload. And so we get it from the body, I guess, huh? Which we're going to need to use Zod to validate. So we might need to define a type there as well. What keyboard am I using? I got you. Get that question often. So I need to figure out how to type this sucker, right? So body limit, we can add a limit here. Okay, so let's actually do an environment variable. Let's say like upload or file size limit is equal to, you know, what would what's 1024 times, what's 1024 squared? 10488576. Okay. So we're gonna limit it to 1 megabyte. Yo. Appreciate that, Yash. Okay. Actually, I should call this drive queries now that I think about it. And then we also need to expose this here. Just going to export it so that it's visible to the API. And then we're going to need to do our limit here. So that actually we're going to need to define inside of the router. So we're going to need to say drive router dot post. We'll say, I think if it's, we just post to the root, right? If we want it to be RESTful, so we just have that's connected via /drive here. So /drive, a post to drive just uploads a new thing. So that's fine. Then we do a body limit, which is going to be max size is going to be process.env. This is also going to need to be as a number. File upload or file size limit, I think. And then on error, we're going to do export const drive file to large. It's going to be return c.json error or status 413. What is that status? Content too large. Okay, so that's good. Could I do a c.error? Is that a thing? I forget. Oh, HTTP exception. Right. Although I want to return it probably as an error now that I think about it. I don't want to actually throw an exception. So we'll do status like 413 and then error file too large must be less than 1 megabyte. Something like this. Cool. And then we're going to do drive file too large. And then we're going to add that function here. Oops. Then the function name is going to be drive new file post. Like this. So that's good. Now we need to actually get that guy in here. So we're going to do const body is await c.rec.body.parseBody. And so the body should contain, you know, a file as well as a name, as well as like the data, the name, and I guess the path is given, huh? In the is directory. So I need to like define a schema for that to be checked against. So let me see how I did that in my previous project here. Oh, I just literally did this. Oh. I added it as JSON. I see. Okay, that's not really, that's not super ideal. Okay, well. Why is this guy building Google Drive and why doesn't he use AI? Oh, brother. I'm happy for your progress that you made since I'm following you. I appreciate that, Satyan. Because he's cool. So are you, Dr. Cool. You're also cool, my friend. Okay, so, can you convert, I forget, is it like good to use Zod schemas and then convert those into TypeScript types? Let's see, like Zod. Oh, this is OpenAI Zod. So Zod for validated stuff. C.rec.valid form. Oh, z.infer. Is that it? Yo, how's it going, Julius? More than I'm happy that you kicked the React Router as the framework. Yes. But why exactly? Bro, I got a command for everything. Tell me about it. Okay. Okay, so is that a thing that is used, Jay? Like z.infer, is that like a common pattern? Okay, you're gonna make me subscribe. You're using Codex? No. I'm not using Codex. I use it, K. All right, so if you use it, that's enough for me. I'll take that as a W. Okay, yeah, let's do that then. Okay. So what I'm gonna do then is I'm gonna define a shared type here. So we're gonna do file schemas. Or wait, no, not in here. Why can I only see the declarations here? What the frig? Oh, because it's in source, I see, okay. So I need to do a new file. File schemas.ts, here we go. So then we're gonna get those in there. So for our user schemas, we're gonna have our API export const API file upload. API file upload, or new file. API new file, maybe. Then we're going to make this z.objects. Then we need to import that, of course. Oh, wait. There we go. Yeah, I got that, Jay. So I'm just defining the schema here, and then I'll do the z.infer inside of my API. They did not, Mike. Yo, how's it going, Biped? Yeah, I didn't learn any web dev, like nothing. So, yeah. Oh, and then I'm going to import as file schema from schemas / file schema and then file schema. Good. Just expose the so that it can be exported properly. I'm doing well. I'm doing well. It's 12 a.m. here. Nice. It's 3:06 p.m. here. It's not really depending. It's handing off the boring part to focus on ideation. Yeah, but I feel like, here's my opinion, Tech Ninja, is it's a slippery slope, right? Where you start, at least for me, I am too, what's it called? Like, I'm weak. I'm weak in the sense that if I start using AI, I know myself and I'm going to start relying on it way too heavily. So this is kind of like, it's almost like to, you know, I know myself and it's just not, it won't be good for me. If I start, you know, I wouldn't be strict about how I use it. What if your ideation crashes at 3 a.m.? Yeah. Bro, on the same journey, just been lazy. You got this. It, you know, it takes time and effort, but and determination, but you'll get there. I don't know. I feel relieved after seeing no AI coding. I appreciate that, Nihal. You know, I am also, you know, relieved doing this as well. When I use AI, I just abuse it. I'm so weak. Yeah, exactly. I'm weak too. And I recognize that about myself, right? Like, that's why I don't use it at all. So I can just completely avoid the temptation. Because it's like, you're going to like become lazier and become whatever. Like, I don't know. That's just me. You got any recommended readings on good systems design, proper code practice with modern web tools? Honestly, not really. I'm kind of just like winging it myself, man. However, I will say that I haven't really done a deep dive into it, but it's been a mix of my audience and you know, figuring it out myself. But the Odin Project's pretty good. It does teach you some good general practices, so you can check that out here. Like especially for the later stuff, like it does teach you decent practices, especially around testing. So you can give that a look if you'd like. There's maybe some nuggets of wisdom inside of that. Like, I'm a student, I'm trying to learn the right way, but I think it's really hard for students to stay away from it. It totally is, Biped. It totally is. How do you debug or Google without AI? I just do. Like, I use DuckDuckGo as my search engine, and there's no AI in that. At least I turned off any AI. Don't you think a software engineer not using AI is like a mathematician not using a calculator? Absolutely not. I think that analogy isn't really comparable, because if you like, I feel like mathematicians, like, mathematics is so much more than just computing results, like calculating, right? So I don't think that's a good analogy, but also I disagree, just generally speaking, respectfully. But see, it doesn't matter. I don't care about being behind. Someone mentioned this website patterns.deb before. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Thanks, Jay, for adding that. Yeah, DuckDuckGo is good. Like, if I Google something, like, let's say, like, Hano testing, for instance, like, there's no AI stuff, right? It just gives me, it's just like search engine. That's the other thing true, Olgi. You make a good point. Calculators are entirely deterministic. It's also just like mathematicians do a lot more than just computing results, right? They derive theories and stuff like that. I'm not a mathematician, but okay. So you know what I'm gonna do here is let's stop screwing around and actually do this. Okay. Let's define our schema. So we need the schema from this. So we're gonna do. We're gonna say the data is gonna be the bytes. Where are we gonna get bytes here? Arrays, tuples, files. Oh, there's a file type. Z.file. And then the shape. I don't know what we'd give that. And then we're going to give it a dot min maybe. Actually, we don't even need a min. We just need a dot max of, then I would assume this is bytes. So we could do 1,000,000 bytes like that, right? So that's fine. And then this should just be like Zod file type. I'm assuming it's bytes, right? But anyway. Zod file implementation. I don't know. Type safe file persistence. Let's look up this in here. Zod file. File schemas. That's exactly where we were. Why don't you care about being behind? Because I don't. I'm not in a rush to, I think that there's this, this general sense that we all have to rush towards being something, right? And, I'm not, life is what it is. We only get one life, and I want to enjoy my learning process and kind of do things my own way. I think that's really what it comes down to. I'm not insecure about the fact that I need to keep up with everybody else. I'm kind of on my own journey. I wonder how you manage to study without getting distracted while streaming. It's not easy. It's really not easy. I'll admit it's getting more and more difficult, so I got to figure something out. Yeah, I agree, Sword. Yeah, I don't use AI. People say in my uni that you have to have a growth mindset and learn new things. Yeah, like that's kind of what that's what I try to have, right? And I don't really care about timing on things because like I already have a job. I'm not like, in a rush. 45 watching, damn, that is kind of crazy. I don't look at how many are watching usually. I just want to know like how this is implemented, but it doesn't really tell me, does it? But it's okay. I would assume it's okay. So then we can do data. We can do name is just a z.string. And then we can do what was the other thing we need? Is directory is a z.boolean dot. Can I make this like not necessarily undefined, or maybe undefined? Zod optional values, optional fields, dot optional. Okay, that's what I can do there. And then what's the other thing? The path, right? You could also validate the path too, but I'm just gonna leave it like that for now. So that's good. So let's take another break here. Am I using the Odin Project? Yes, Steel. The highest I've ever had, as far as I know, Sword, is 50. Yeah, and I think it's fair, like for parts of the project that you don't want to program. Like I think you can integrate AI into it, especially if you've like learned front end before. Optional values for booleans make things screwy with React hook forms, but hopefully you don't run anything too bad. Well, because the thing is, it is optional because in the sense that the user, not the user schema, the schema inside of my database has a default. You know what I could do? I could even just do default here, like this. That might be better, Jay. It's not about being behind. It's also making your imagination true by growing into the next level where more things become possible. I mean, I'm already getting to that point by learning manually. That's my argument to that. I've already, like, if you've watched my last, like, however many streams it's been, I don't know. I've already grown as a developer in the last 6 months, so. You're doing it right. It just gives me trouble when I do that. Oh, okay, got you. I appreciate the heads up, though. I really do. Because this is going to be used then. This isn't going to be used in the form. I plan on using this in the API, right? So it's going to validate the body. That's what I plan on doing. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to do rec.json and then give it a type of z.infer. And I also need to import z. Right. Do I not have Zod installed in this sucker? No shit. Okay, I'll worry about that after break. Current best path to the next level is by learning hard things on your own, yeah. Completely random, but I found a 3D model for UGMonk analog system that I'm printing. I'm super excited. UGMonk. I'm not sure what that is. Nowadays, beginners hop directly into the codecs and stuff, whereas started with Notepad++ and VS Code. You're married to VS Code, fair enough. Usually vibe coders who have never managed to learn how to write programs properly get mad at people who don't use AI. That's ridiculous. Yeah, I agree, Rail. And you know what it is? Can I tell you? And I said this earlier in the stream. I think they're just insecure that they don't, they can't, if things do go, shit does hit the fan, they can't actually go into their own code base and fix anything. And I think that makes them kind of irritated deeply, like subconsciously. So, you know what, that's a them problem. You said it right at first. Oh, UGMonk. Okay, so I did. I wasn't sure. It's a tangible productivity system. Got you. Oh, so it's like an analog way of doing it. So it's kind of like, what's it called? The Zettelkaster. What's that called? The thing with it's like or Zettelkasten note system or whatever it is. I don't remember. Well, learning tech is, if you try to get super deep into something, it can sometimes be a bad idea because you can get too lost and you don't actually learn the stuff you need. Yeah, I agree, Sword. Yeah, it's like Zettelkasten. Yeah, this. This is it. It's a card file consisting of small items, paper. It's like a German thing. It's like kind of like a way of. It's kind of like basically like a physical Obsidian, with like linking. But it's a productivity like knowledge management system, essentially, Jay. That's the idea. Zettelkasten, that's what it's called. Agentic development is better than vibe coder. Yeah, that's fair, Mike. I get that. I don't know why you guys are so insistent on AI. I think coding should be fun. Maximum is AI assisted coding. Yeah, I agree, Nihal. Your shining beacon. I appreciate that. Too cut and dry. Have I ever used Fastify? I have not. Voodoo. Dude, my channel lately has been blowing the fuck up, and I have no idea why. Like, I don't know what's going on, but I appreciate all of you joining the stream and being here. So let's install this here. There we go. And this should fix itself. Okay, good. And then z.infer, and then we need the type here, right? From the file schemas, API new file. So file, what was I calling it? API new file schema. So file schema. Oh, and then I need to build so I need to do that as well. npm run db, or not db, shared build as well. I need to build that. So then this should be importable, right? I think this like type of, sorry. That's it. This is what I need, I think. And then we'll get the I think that's good. Tomato study. Y'all got any opinion? Hold on. I'm like really behind on chat. How far do you in software, like, can you actually build anything you want yourself? Or even if you can't, it will definitely take long. I don't think AI will make you rely on it or lose your skill. That's fair, Tech Ninja. I just, I also just enjoy coding without AI too. Like, that's the other aspect, right? It'll make you better and faster, but to be clear, I'm not suggesting vibe coding. No, I got you. And I respect that. I think there's also just like an enjoyment from programming manually. But yeah, no, I'm using Pomodoro study method. Where's the music coming from? Oh no, there's no music. I do have a little bit of rain in the background though. Guys, I need a counter. I was honestly exposed to Nest and Spring at the start of my backend journey, and now trying to get into Express-like systems is a bit of a challenge because it feels wrong. Interesting, because I feel kind of opposite, Amar. Like, I've looked at Spring before, and it seems really foreign to me. All right, so we have that. So that's good. So we're getting the type here. So that's good. And then AIs be shoehorned into my company, partially my fault for teaching them how it works, and now we have to work even harder with the same people or less on the project. Yeah, it's kind of turning toward that way at the company I work at too, but for different things. I work in IT, so it's a little different, but we're starting to use AI more than we ever have, and it's kind of, I don't know how I feel about it. You'll be behind in a few years if you don't use AI, lol. So I'm warning you. Well, I appreciate the warning, Moz, but that doesn't really concern me. A lot of people say that, so, you know, it is what it is. I disagree with you, but, you know, and I'm not saying I'm never going to use AI either. You know, like I might begin to integrate AI when I get better, but, you know, I'm going to kind of do it at my own pace. Actually, you're right about not doing something you've never done manually by using AI. That's clear. I definitely support your learning principle on AI. Yeah, exactly. That's basically what it is. Like Ninja. Like it's basically like I want to build things by hand and learn by hand, so that if I do use AI in the future, which I probably will. Actually, I'm almost certain I will. You know, I'll have that kind of intermediate dev ability to be able to jump in the code whenever I need to and fix things, and also work closely with the AI to accomplish what I want. Right? Like that's the end goal here, right? the end goal is not to be a Luddite forever and like totally eschew AI, but it's to learn things the way that, you know, people learned them before me, instead of kind of just letting AI replace me. Exactly. I agree with that. How much do you have left on this project? I'm probably realistically a little bit before halfway done. So probably another 5 or 6 streams, if that. Maybe like another week or 2, I'd say, Levy. What am I building anyway? I'm building a Google Drive clone, Moz, to learn full stack development. So you can see here. What's my tech stack? My tech stack's explained in that paste bin. Project manager spotted. There's tons of live videos featuring vibe coders, so what are you doing here? Exactly. Yeah. It's like I'm like anti what they're doing. And again, respect to those guys only because they have a lot of hustle, okay? They're out there doing what they believe is right, and you know what? All respect to them, okay? They can do what they want, but I'm over here doing my thing, you know? It's called BenStack. Yes, it is. It's my own stack. Okay, so, how's it going, Prasan? Okay, so let's actually upload the file here. Let's stop like dicking around. Okay, so we have our thing. So we have our file data. And then we say const. So then this should have a bunch of attributes, right? So we have data, name, string, or name path is directory, okay. And then if not file data dot data is instance of file, then return c.json error file data must be file. Something like this, right? And then so how do we actually upload that though? Where does the upload actually happen? I guess we just await the call to the... You can upload files as multi-part form data. Uploading files are available by a crec parse body. Okay, so this isn't exactly what I need anyway. So I think that's actually fine. So then I can just do like a... Yeah, I'm using Drizzle. Yeah. Your classes ended last week. Nice. At least you should try some tools sometimes, like Codex Claude. Yeah, I plan on trying them in the future. Ninja, for sure. I wish I had your free time to code these projects by hand. Yeah, I mean, I work 40 hours a week as well. I do this on top of work. I work probably, if you include YouTube and my work, I work probably 60 hours a week, give or take. Because there's some management I have to do off, like if you include like Discord stuff and the stream prep and all these sorts of things. Yeah, I do probably 60 hours a week of work. So, I think this is probably complete because we did define that. And then for our API, we're gonna write CRUD corresponding CRUD routes middleware for files as well. So we're kind of doing that at the same time. So it's good. Bro, I'm a beginner. How can I become good in web dev? Currently, I've completed HTML, CSS, and JS, but I'm unable to create something. Okay, so Rohit, you have to, well, what I would recommend is to follow the Odin Project from the beginning, and it'll give you, it's a project-based learning curriculum. So follow that, my friend. Hey, what's the best way to learn? I just know the basics of Python, learning by projects. Yeah, learning by projects is absolutely the way to go, I would say. Like I kind of pivot between, I do theory, project, theory project, but I do only a little bit of theory, just as much as I need to start jumping into a project, and then I kind of learn both, but through the project building. How's your IT job? My IT job is fine. You know a project like this, but for C++? No, I don't actually. I don't know C++, guys. But yeah, no, definitely project-based learning is good. What Kanban extension is on the Obsidian? Yeah, I got you. It's literally just this one. Hold on, let me go here. It's this one by Obsidian community. It has 2.4 million downloads. So I should start tutorials or something through YouTube and GitHub? No, go to the Odin Project, my friend. What am I working on right now? Got you. You can read that paste bin. You work as a web dev at your current job too? No, I work in IT. If you want to read a little bit about me, you can read my FAQ here. Build, bro, don't watch. Yeah, exactly. I agree with that. Okay. So what we're going to do is then we're going to basically send a request to our, so we're going to say const uploaded or new file is going to be our, where is it? Our database query. So our insert new file. Although, is this, how am I exporting this? Let me see. Export constant, and then am I exposing this through drive query? So it's going to be drive query dot insert new file and then file data. Oh, but I'm passing that, I see. So I'm actually passing that as new file data, new file name, I see. So then actually I could probably refactor that in here. So why don't I actually fix this? So I could just do new file as a type of new file type is going to be a z.infer. And we need to import z here. Do we not have Zod and the database either? Oh, we don't. That's crazy. Type of API new file. Or no. What did I call that? File schema. Oh, and I'm not getting shared from database either. I'm currently working on an open source project that's an admin panel for Node.js projects. I'm making it framework and ORM agnostic. I'm building a dependency graph based on the database schemas described and using that graph to set up routing on the front end. It'll be something similar to the admin panel in Django. What do you think? This is a good idea and will it be useful? Yeah, I mean, that sounds really cool, honestly. I think that would be, fantastic for, especially for people that are working in Node.js, which is still like the, the most common JavaScript runtime. So I think that's a great idea. You should definitely run with it. 70 watching, holy fuck. Don't remind me, guys. I don't want to know how much you're watching. I'm not looking at it. We're gonna do workspace shared filter DB. Is this how this is done? I forget. I think now I can import this, no? Yes. Okay. Dot API new file. And then we're going to do new file type here. And then new file dot data. And actually we're going to just pass this in new file dot name. This might not work. Oh, because this is new file. I can't do that. Of course. new file dot path, and then new file dot directory. There's naming conflicts. Okay, so this might not be compatible. New file dot data as bytes, because z.core.file is probably not copacetic or not agreeing with the buffer array type here. So that is something to consider as far as typing goes. So I'll just do, we'll see if it even works to begin with. And we're going to need to await this, of course, right? This channel is really useful. I subscribed to you, bro. I appreciate that, Rail. Is SQL front end? No, SQL is back end. Any of you gave up on Programmer when you were like a kid because you knew you're a bunch of won't be able to make it, but also hovering around it for decades? Yeah, I mean, I was kind of me. I was a little bit me. But you are not using AI. No, I'm not using AI. Should one learn full stack or specialization matters most front end or back end? I think learning full stack is good if you like both. Usman. 500 watching? No. Now you're playing with me, Sword. If you're stuck in any place, what do? Look stuff up, man. Is programming emotional for you? Hey, do you want to talk outside this chat more about AI? I really want to talk to me specifically. Yeah. Shoot me join the Discord, Ninja, and we can connect if you'd like. There's not 500 watching, Sword. You're full of shit. Let me see. Yeah, okay, 64, not 500, buddy. Okay, there's too many. Man, it's getting to the point where I can't even like reply to chat quickly here. What do you do to learn something? Solve any problem you face while building? Look on Google and Stack Overflow. Yeah, basically comical. Here, you can read my FAQ. You just want to make me nervous? Got you. Yeah, you can read my FAQ here. Because I can't like keep up with all the chat at this point, I don't think. Can you tell me how to get good at programming in this AI era? Just, you just got to start yourself. Usually, what I would do is learn or like follow a course, Orkix. So you can, follow the Odin Project, which is a free and open source web development curriculum, as to kind of guide your learning. There's also free code camp. Do you think about the computer operates when you code, or is the syntax like the English syntax rules for proper English? It's kind of neither, I think. It's kind of its own thing, I would say. Okay. And then what we'll do is we'll say, we'll do a return c.json. Well, and then if new file, actually we should probably check if new file, then we can just see if it's defined. Else we can do a return c.json status like 500, or even we can even throw a new error. Or HTTP exception. I think I need to construct it, don't I? Yeah, I do. And then 500. And then file was not created. I think, or is it just this? Do I need to add, well, maybe it's in options here. Message file not created. Something like this. And then what we'll do is we'll say return c.json. C.json, we'll just say data as new file. Something like this. Or we can even just do success okay. Success true. Where am I from? I'm from Canada. keyboard do you use? Bruh. Got you. Would you start using AI like Claude Code once you got the fundamentals down and stuff? Yeah, I'd be open to definitely taking a look at it, lamb chops. I wouldn't, I don't know how heavily I'd use it, but I'd definitely like, why don't you use a try catch inside this function? Mainly because, well, I could use a try catch. I'm using a try catch inside of the query itself. So I think having both would be kind of unnecessary, especially for this section here, because I'm already try catching this drive query.insert new file. What's the timer? I use the Pomodoro method. Are you a student or any working professional? Yes, I am. You can read my FAQ here. Holy shit, I think I need more moderators or something. This is crazy. Okay, taking moderator applications after stream, by the way, for the YouTube chat. Okay, so that's fine. I don't even know, I genuinely have no idea whether this is gonna work or not. So we could like, I guess we get, there's only, the only way to know is to test it, yeah? So we've got our drive, this is our controller here, drive a new file posts, and then we have it exposed to the router, and then of course we're giving it to it as JSON. Now I wonder if giving, now I'm thinking about this, so I wonder if giving the file as JSON data is a bad idea, Do you apologize to the syntax after you find the bug? No. Why you use try catch just to throw error again? This is if the new file is not defined. So if the new file isn't created, if there's no return from this, then I throw an HTTP server exception. Yeah, it's getting to the point, Jay, where I like can't really manage it, to be honest with you. Byte array, yeah. It's getting to the point, yeah. It's getting use base64 blob for files. Yeah, so this is the interesting thing. So I'm using a Zod schema for this, but I don't know what this z.file is. Like z.zod file. Like I wonder if this, I'm assuming this is a byte array of some sort. But then the problem is in the database, the schema for the database is a byte A. So I don't know if that's actually compatible or not. I don't know if the Zod type is compatible with the type inside of Drizzle. I have to go now. Have a good live. I appreciate that, Biped. Loving this no AI session. I appreciate that. Yo, how's it going? Okay. So let me just like see. Because this is a z.core.file. Oops. Subpackage exports the core classes and utilities. But I want to know how it's actually defined. But these docs are not really doing it for me. Convert z.file to the following OpenAI to validate the file instances. Release notes. Zod core. Zod file. Yeah, I don't know. Gain a sub, hoping you don't stop doing this. I don't plan on it. Was your Hano conscious choice, or did it just seem interesting? There's also Alicia, which is built on very high performance framework Bun. Honestly, Rail, I liked Hano mostly because it was Express-like and it had, but like with better syntax. That was the primary reason I chose it. And it's more modern. Okay. So let's, I'm kind of just like, Zod core file, because I need to know like what this actually is, you know, like what this file type is in the background. Test it? Yeah, I could just test it and see if it breaks. We could do that. The other thing is I don't know how to, I don't think putting a file in here through JSON is a good idea. So let's just see. HTTP file uploading, upload. I just want to see like what this is looking like here. How you do this with the HTTP. Because is it sent as a like what is the file sent as? Let's take a look at what happens when you select a file and submit your form. Upload. When you learn anything, I don't take note ever and regret it later. Can you tell me best note-taking method? I just kind of take notes as I learn, as I read documentation. Just local for now, funny day. I'm going to eventually use, when I deploy, I'll use something different. Typically, you pull the file from the form data on the server and then encode it to bytes for the database. Okay. So, but where would it be? Okay, so let's, I think this needs to be refactored. I think we need to pull it, like, is it sent in the header? You know what I mean? Also, why are we doing a long break here? I want a short break. Let's keep going. I think my Pomofocus settings reset or something. But yeah, I think, do we do content type multi-part form data? Like, where's the actual stream of bytes sent through is my question. Multi-part form data. Like you would typically pull from values. There's a syntax for handling files in multi-part form data. Oh, I see. Okay. I see. Because this is the first time I've ever done this, right? So I'm not, you know, super familiar. Yeah, let's just take our break here. Kind of just chill for a minute. Yeah, I could use Postman. Yeah, I already have Postman. But the thing with Postman, right, is I don't know, like I'm talking about the actual, like, you know, request format, like what the best way of requesting like a post, right, for file upload. Look up the methods used for Express files and then apply the concept to Hano. That might be the easiest because Express is much better documented. Okay. Good idea. Geeks for Geeks is always a solid option. Okay, so there's an express file upload. Okay. Oh, it's already uses middleware. I see. So it's like, so would it be like middleware that I'd insert? Yeah, because, okay, so if I go back to Odin Project here, right? If I go back to my Odin Project here, you should see that like it wants you to use Muttler for the file upload stuff, right? So I think maybe it is a situation of using my other middleware. Is there like a you can upload a file with multi-part form data content type. The uploaded file will be available in crec parse body. Okay. Did you master DSA or not? Wouldn't say I mastered it, but I definitely took it in school. I don't know what is happening with my internet. Hold on. Is the stream like dying? What's going on here? Stream is healthy. Okay, so this is just not loading. Oh, you think the crec parse body is the middleware in this case? Oh, okay, I see. Maybe it's just the server side that it can't load. Maybe that's true. Let's just like write a dummy endpoint and then like not worry about the database necessarily and just see whether it works. You know what I mean? So instead of doing this, like why don't we just return c.json file data, or file data.name. Oh, because it has the name with it. I see. I see. Okay, this actually might be a revolution here. So this is actually, we don't even need all the name and the, I mean, we need the path presumably, but we can extract the name from the file itself. Let's just see if this even returns anything. Yeah, let's keep going here. But then how do I actually include a file? Like, so let's see now, Postman file, test file upload. Oh, put it in the file as form data. I see. And then, but then this is going to need to be as a c.rec.parse body now. Okay, let's just forget about typing for a second. Congrats, man. I appreciate that, Eric. Stream viewership's going up like crazy. Yeah. Has anyone tried to use Fast API? You'll feel so good after studying. Oh, you're talking. As a beginner, one can go flow and learn stuff. Do project and learn from failure. Yeah, that's what I would recommend, Peekaboo. Okay. So theoretically, this should work. I'm just seeing if this even does anything to begin with. So let's go to, it would be, let's run this thing. Oh, we're getting an error now. Conf find package client. Imported database. Oh, because of this. I know why. Right. I think that's it. Okay. Let's just test if this works. Okay, so it's on. That's good. So it'd be drive. And then so in our body, we want this to be form data and then file. And then we want this to be file. And then so we can do like a test file, right? So let's, am I going to use store files in a relational database? That's the plan eventually, Rail. I'm just trying to see if this backend is working just with this route. Okay, bro. Okay. But yeah, that's the eventual goal. Let's just like create a dummy file to do, like, I just want to do this like not here. Let's go, let's delete all these screenshots. Do a new file. Can I not like just create a text file? What the hell? I mean, I could just like, yeah, guys, if you want to connect with each other on Discord, you can join my Discord as well. Yeah. I just need to figure out a place to store this. Why don't we go, let's just do the terminal, iTunes. Let's just do this. Let's do it in my home directory. So we'll just do a touch test.txt. Actually, we'll just do vim. And then this is, so we'll just write this is a test, and then just some numbers. And then so now we can choose that file. So we can go to that file right here. Okay, what's the problem? It's not your working directory. It will be unavailable to your teammates. Oh, that's fine. I don't care about that. Okay. So then theoretically this should upload it, no? We're not actually going to be pushing a query to the database, but like, let's try this. And this needs to be a post, of course. Holy shit. I think that's good because 26 bytes, right? That's like the number of characters I have in there. You can also look at the commands in the description too. Your government banned Discord? Dang. You can also connect with me. Good luck, dude. I appreciate you. I'm new here and I'm really curious about how are this no AI stuff being so far. Not a hater or anything. I just want to know how good it has been. I find it useful, Davy. I find it useful and engaging. So this seemed to work. I mean, we didn't get an error here. But now I think we were going to get probably an error if we try to send this over to the, like, what's this type? Okay, so the type is file, blob part. Okay. Why would you think that's hating? No, I'm not. I don't think it's hating at all. Okay, so this does work. However, we're going to need to change how what data we're sending over to the database, right? So you know what we're going to need to do is change our schema here, because I don't think the Z file is happy with the database file type, right? If that makes any sense. This is entirely backend. I'm working on that right now, yeah. Thanks, Jay, for helping out. I really do appreciate it. Okay, so the file upload worked. I just want to make sure that this, let's go back to, so that worked. What you could do is upload the file to S3 storage and store the file in URL in the database. I used this method once. Yeah, that's another thing that you could do. For sure, Malik. I hear you. I actually, another viewer in the stream, Satyam, did something similar for his project, I think. Should you do a migration after that change? Yeah, I probably should. I'm just thinking like what other types there are. That's the other thing I could do. But then I don't know how I would actually upload that. So could I then talk to S3 through another API? I guess it would be the case, right? So let's just see. Yeah, so it is byte A, I thought so. Use the byte A column with the Drizzle ORM. Unfortunately, Drizzle ORM does not support the byte A column natively. Okay, but I think this is dated, because I think, or maybe not. Serial, file name, and MIME type data, byte A data, not null. npx drizzle kit generate name. Storing the files. Dot values dot returning, but I need to figure out where to actually get. Okay, that's receiving the stored files. Okay, so it is byte A. That's what I wanted to basically validate here. Like learning stuff on your own will take more time rather than taking a course and learning in proper flow. What do you think? I mean, I kind of do a mixture of both. I think you know, it depends on what works for you. So yeah, I think we're gonna need, because I think if I just post to this, I think, because the body, yeah, so that's gonna come in as form data. Let's just change this. New file type, API new file, yeah, but Zod file is not file. So what if we do this? Oh. Is this not? Oh, yeah. So it should be, so we need name. What was the other stuff we needed? Path, right? So we can test this. I have a sneaking suspicion it's not going to work. Yo, how's it going, Salty? Welcome, welcome. It's been busy today, man. Stream's been popping off. Now that you have the file in the server, you can convert the file object to a buffer. Can I? Okay, now how do I do that? Just this. So I can do buffer dot from file like this. Then the type's gonna be wrong, right? Data file name string path string. Or does that not work like that? Missed the early start. Doing a longer stream today? Maybe. I think I might go one more Pomo after this. I don't know. We'll see. Has the stream died down at all? No, it hasn't. Not even a little bit. Yo, Varen, how's it going? Do you know? I remember you. I definitely remember you. Let's just see. Let's just put the file and see what happens, because we weren't getting errors there. And then let's just return. The name is new file. Dot name. It should be that. I don't know. Data buffer name string. Let's just do like. Well, actually, we'll just do this. We'll just put this back here. Got almost 100. Yeah, that's crazy. Is there a buffer method? Is there a buffer method on this file? Yo, how's it going, Mixer? You have any profile for DSA like leak code forces? I do have a leak code, but I don't use it very often anymore. Farron. It's just BenStack dev. You can look it up on leak code. Because this might fail, but I want to try it. So if we put our file here, and then the name, and then we'll do path is this, and then that's all we probably need. Actually, we don't even need that. Now that I think about it, we don't need that. We just need this. Okay, so there was it was an invalid archetype. Let's see. But that's good though, because now we have something to work with. Insert into file ID, user ID, data, name. Oh, we're not giving it. It doesn't probably know what user ID to use, does it? That's the other thing too, is it doesn't probably know what user ID to use. I didn't think of that. So we need to get the user session. Oh, we can get it from this, no? From the value. So we can actually get it from this value, from the session validation. So we can say const we need to actually change the database. What is your rating? I don't know. How long do you learn daily? I can see live. It's around 2 hours 30. Yeah, I learn about that long. Are you uploading this file as a stream or all at once? I think it's all at once. This is honestly the first time I've ever worked with files with web dev, so I would appreciate some patience. I think I need to change this query as well. I think this query is no good. I need to also add in a user ID here. And then we need to get that user ID inside of the file schema. Or actually, you know what? No. Let's do this. Async. And then the user ID we need to get from this. So we need to say yo, I appreciate all of you folks helping out. How do we get the data out of this sucker? Let's see. C.get. Okay. That should be happy now, I think. So we're now getting the user ID in here properly so that it can link to a user ID. Okay, so it's still going to error out, and that's fine, and that's expected because I still am trying to figure out what oh, cannot read properties of null reading ID. Oh, okay, so user.id is not working. Interesting. Do we get, is it just null here? User null, oh. Because it's probably not authenticated. So that's part of my problem. So why don't we log in? Why don't we log in here first? Okay. And then now this maybe will work. Okay, well, at least it kind of worked. So I think it's this, it's the file problem again, right? First argument must be of type string or an instance buffer, array buffer, array. Receives an instance of file. Yeah, so that's basically what Jay was saying. No, you're right. I needed to authenticate it. That was exactly what I needed to do. So I needed to authenticate it, which I did, so that's fine. So you're right, I do need to stream this somehow, right? But I think the Zod schema, like, is there a way to define a buffer inside of Zod? Or am I like beating a dead horse here? Or like worrying too much about this? Because the only file type I can see here is z.file, right? They do have a Python course. FreeCodeCamp does have a Python course. So how would I define, like, 'cause if I do buffer.from, it's not going to work because this is defined as a core file. So we need to actually change, unless I make it just like a, what's it called? Can I just make it like a bunch of bytes? Enums, bools. Yo, Salty, thank you so much for supporting the stream. I appreciate that. Just pass the file. Currently doing CS50 Python. Nice. But no, Salty, that means a lot, man. I appreciate it. and you'll be privy to the first supporters only stream tomorrow. So that'll be fun. V8 node will interpret it correctly. Yeah, but so basically what I'm trying to do is I have a Zod schema that works with this request, and I'm trying to make the that work. Let me try and explain myself. I'm trying to make the Zod schema work with the API, or what is it called? With the database schema, right? Convert file object into array buffer asynchronously before passing it into buffer from. Oh, I see. Okay, good idea. Okay, so what I could do here is I could say const file buffer is equal to, and then that's an asynchronous task. Been meaning to do it for a couple days. Finally got around to while you were live. I appreciate that, Salty. File.buffer. Array buffer. Oh, so that's all I need. Oh, but then it's still going to give me a type problem, right? Oh, and then this needs to be awaited. No? Oh, because it says this is a promise. It returns a promise. So does this not need to be awaited? But then it says it's or is this a function? It's a function. Of course it is. It's a function. That's why. It's not just a value. Okay. So yeah, this isn't going to work perfectly. Hey, I'm trying to learn C. What's your advice to learn a new language? Any good resources? I actually am trying to figure out that myself for C. But there are some good textbooks out there. Data buffer.from await file.array buffer. Okay, got you. That would make more sense. So something like this then. Yeah. Oh, in the const, I see. So the array buffer is not a buffer itself. Okay. This type is still going to be wrong, but like let's even see what happens here. Oh, no shit. Apparently it worked. There's a little type weirdness here, but let's see. Now let's check Drizzle Studio if it's working. I need to reboot it, I think. Wow, there you go. There's the data. It worked. Yeah, I appreciate that, Bakia. I don't know how to say your name. I apologize. Just make it a new file const. You create a new constant for buffer. No need. Oh, so I could just put it inside of this. Is what you're saying? Like this. Yeah. So again, the Marco, the idea here is not to. Yeah, I have a cap on the file size. It's 1 megabyte. It's just for learning. So, can you suggest me some JavaScript tools for beginners? I got you. Whoops, that's not the right command. There we go. There's some JavaScript tools. But yeah, stream is absolutely getting obliterated. I don't know what is going on, guys. This is the largest stream, like, by like an insane margin. So I really do appreciate all the support. But yeah. Okay, so we need to fix the Zod stuff. You just landed on my YouTube homepage. Now I'm super invested. Awesome, Roach. I appreciate that. Honestly, this YouTube's like blowing my shit up. Love from India. I appreciate that. First time here, I came from the Why I Don't Use AI video. Nice, Pharaoh. Strap in. It's a great time. Yo, what about the CS50p? But it's kind of confusing. Yeah, I haven't actually done that one myself. No, the Why I Don't Use AI video was a clip from a stream from a few weeks ago. And for whatever freaking reason, it blew up like crazy. I hate that Tyler missed out on the fun. Yeah, well, we'll let him know after. I think it's a lot of people are tired of seeing the AI slot from everyone and want to see people actually learning. Yeah. Can you show your drives queries file? Yeah. Just a sec, pause. I'm on a break right now, so I'll show it after. Yeah, I also came from YouTube recommendation from the No AI flag. LMAO, yeah, that's nice. I will, though, after this break. 118 watching, yeah. Dude, we're cooked. The GOAT, I appreciate you on. No AI brought me here, currently working through Flash tonight. Nice, Wasabi. Or Wasabi. Why not just host private AI model for according to your coding style? Honestly, just personal preference. Also, it's a shit ton expensive to host shit like that. It's very expensive. What are your thoughts on TypeScript versus JavaScript? I'm interested in TypeScript, TypeDoc, Zod for more strict typing and self-documentation. Yeah, I like it for that reason. I like it because you have a lot more static code validation before you even run anything. And I think the thing with JavaScript is you're guessing, right? You're kind of left guessing. I mean, whatever you say about AI nowadays is going to get blown up, especially saying to not use it. Yeah, fair enough. I honestly posted that not trying to blow up though. I just thought it'd be a curious little talking point because I often have a lot of people in my stream asking why I don't use AI. So I kind of uploaded that clip so I could reference them to it, but it kind of blew up unexpectedly. Congrats on the watching, bro. I appreciate that, Sword. It's refreshing to see someone digging through the docs the grindy way. Yeah. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna run. I'll be right back. I'm just gonna run and grab a snack because I'm starving here. So I'll be right back in like 2 seconds. So. All right, we're back. We're back. Let me just turn off the. There we go. I appreciate that, Bakia. Good idea, Salty. I'll do that after stream. Have I tried Linux for coding? I used we used Ubuntu in my university course. Okay. Let's continue. Okay, so let's go to, yeah, so these are our bytes, right? User ID is FKH, which should be our BenStack user. So, what was it? Drive queries. But I wonder instead if we do, we don't do the Zod infer. Like what if we infer right from the database? If the business requires I use it, if not, I write the code by hand. You can leave it as file on the controller layer, but then convert it into a buffer on drive queries. That may solve the Zod problem. Yeah, so can I do that? Like, does Zod have its own buffer type? 5 million watching? No, that's crazy, Sword. Yeah, but I'm not bothered at all by AI enthusiasts. Yeah, me neither, Rail. Honestly, to each their own. That's exactly how I feel. Because the other thing we could do here is we could do this. Instead of inferring from Zod on the database end, we could do this guy. We could say file entity type, or let's say, wait, why don't we do data is file entity type, data, and then do name file entity type. Actually, I can just copy this, right? So we can do this. So name path is directory. So that should fix our problem, I think. Because this is just for the API side anyway, so I think this is good. Yeah, can someone, no spamming please, guys. Open source project. It will be open sourced after I finish it. I'll start quoting you on that. I think you have to use Z instance of buffer. Oh, okay, that makes sense. I'm just gonna leave it this way. I think this is fine. Now, if I try to upload a file that's too large, let's see what happens. So like if I go to yo, how's it going, Astro? If I go to my where am I based in Canada? I won't say specifically, but it's in the Eastern Canada. I'm in the Eastern Standard Time, or Eastern Daylight Time. Thanks, Jay. I just need to get a bigger file into this here. So let's find a file that's like bigger. I need a more than a megabyte file. Let's see. Okay, let's try and upload like this. So if we try to upload, this one, which is a video file, then it should block it. File too large. Nice. So if you try to upload a file that's too large, it'll block it, which is exactly what we want. So that works. Cool. Last good advice, you should learn abstraction. Abstraction in what context? I recently started programming, but I can't imagine writing code from scratch without AI, and honestly it terrifies me because I don't know what will happen the day I actually work with it. Fair enough, user. So that's good. So that does block it when the file is too large. So I like that. I like that. So the other thing that we need to do here is also decide, like if it is, I need to figure out how to manage folders or like directories, right? Because like, okay, so we have files working all hunky-dory now, right? So like I can upload files all day long. However, for a folder, the idea was to have the folder or like the directory store its data, its subdirectories inside of its own, of its data field here. And I'm just trying to think about how to do that, or if I make like, yeah, I don't know. If that makes any sense. So I need to like figure that out. Then we could also do like a, you know, I'll probably think about that off stream, to be honest with you, because I think that's going to be a little tricky. Thanks, Jay. Are you using what type of database to store the files? It's okay, sure. I can't get it to follow up on you. Okay, so let me answer that question because I think it's important to realize. So I'm using a Postgres database, using Drizzle as the ORM, and the database is hosted on a local Docker container. So it's right here. It's BenStack drive db1. So that's that. I only worked on one project where the manager was interested in the results but not the process. All the other projects is an AI psychosis. Yeah, exactly. You could use something like a try. Not sure what that is. Is it like a data type? Okay, the other thing I can do, I guess, in the meantime, at least for the rest of the stream, because I think I'm going to have to like think about this more deeply off stream. And when I'm streaming to like however many people are watching right now, it's kind of like I don't want to make these big, large decisions kind of ad hoc like this. So I think what I'm going to do for the rest of the stream is just write some other queries like maybe file reading. So I'll do, let's write some more queries here. Let's see, read file or select file by name, I guess. Or select file, and then we can give it the path and the name. So we'll say user ID, and then we'll do, well, actually we'll probably even import the type. User type is type of user dot, oh, and then this needs to be this dot infer. And then we'll say user ID type. Something like this, right? Just to be more rigorous. Postgres or files, always heard that was not possible. Yeah, exactly. This is just for learning, right? Like, guys, this is for learning. It's not for actually like something serious. I'm just trying to get stuff working, right? So, and then we'll do a path. We'll give it a path as a new file type dot path, file entity type. And then we'll also say name as well, right? We can select by name. So we'll select by name and path, right? And this is going to be a get as well. So then what we're going to do here is we're going to try catch this. And again, I have really shitty try catch management. I totally admit to that. Then we need to find. So select here. And then it'd be select, we could select everything. From file entity dot where, I'm gonna like probably put these on different lines here. And we're gonna say where maybe the future of the files we stored in a different storage system. Yeah, exactly. That's pretty much the idea rail. Is there any other database recommended for file storing? Yeah, I honestly don't know. I usually get my audience to help me out on those. So I'll do an and an equals in here. So I'll do and then equals, and then equals. So I'm going to import these from, I think it would be from import and. Drizzle ORM, PG core. Okay. And then I'm going to do file entity dot path is equal to path. And then file entity dot name is name. Okay, so what's wrong with this guy? An overload. This is probably like a type conflict. String undefined. Oh, and then this needs to be defined, right? That's probably the problem. Okay, so this path needs to be defined. So what we can do is we can say if path is, if not path, then return. We'll do an early return on that. And then we will return read file. Is there a way of just selecting one? I guess we just return the first result, right? That's fine. I'm 15. I've been learning how web dev for 3 years, not only consistently over the past year. And some of the technologies now are PSQL, Next.js, React, TypeScript, Drizzle, Redis, and more. Nice. Should I start doing freelance? I mean, you could try. You're only 15, man. You got plenty of time. I'm 10 years older than you are. So, yo, how's it going, Kuma? Oh, we want the user ID to match as well. Right? So I think that's good. So then we should be able to select a file, right? Based on that. So then we can do maybe start with family and friends. Yeah, that's a good tip. All right, so let's see if this even works. And then what we'll do is we actually need to add that router, don't we? Or that control here. So what we need to do is export const drive file get, I guess, is equal to async. And then we're going to say const body. Or would I get it from JSON, I wonder? because for the shared here, do an export const API get file is going to be, we just need the name and the path realistically. And again, I can refactor this later. If I can actually spell properly, Jesus. So just it'd be the user ID, which is a z.string, I think, right? Because if we go to, I don't think we actually have a schema for that. No, we don't. Yo, I appreciate the gift, Shabam. Thank you so much. How do you focus for 3 hours straight? It's not easy. Yeah, guys, like I'm not that young. I wish I was, you know. No AI is crazy in today's world. Tell me about it, man. So I don't really probably need to do this, but I'm doing this specifically for, actually built a Google Drive clone earlier in my coding journey, just the backend though. Got you, big step up. That's nice. I'm building it full stack. So I mean, like, I don't know. Because what we can do here is we can say file to get, I guess I could say, or get file is equal to c.rec.json, and I can do z.infer, and then it would be type of file schema dot API get file. And then, so then now we'd have that data, right? The user ID, the path, and name, and then we do our await, I think. Await, or const fetched file info is going to be, we could just call it file actually. It's going to be an await drive query dot select file, and then we'll give it the file info. And the other thing with that is actually I'm going to pass that all as one, because I think I can actually just put this as an object. Can I not here? Now I can just do it separately, that's fine. File info dot user ID. Oh, do I need to await it? Surely not. Why is it auto-completing that? Weird. Try to join the Discord so y'all can see it. Yeah, you can join the Discord. The link's there. Await drive query. Should be an ID, user ID path, name. Or is it path name? I forget the, oh, it's the other way around. I could just pass that as an object theoretically, but it's TypeScript. Yeah, it is. It is TypeScript. Or if file, I should say. Maybe I should return the file. This would actually be a 404 specifically. Okay. This is good. Have you made any other websites? Have you been working for 130 days on one project? Oh, I've made plenty of projects. You can go look on my channel. You can see my progress. Okay, so this should be fine, and then I can hook this up to the router, right? And then of course I could probably put this in a query, right? So I should probably have like a file ID in this eventually, right? Eventually refactor to accept file ID or name in query, as query, in requests URL. That's fine for now. And then we'll just say drive new file or drive file get. Right. So let's put this as raw, and then we'll do our post to see if this works. So the user ID we're gonna have to get from Drizzle here. Is there demand for junior developers in the .NET backend file in Canada? Holy shit, 133. Yeah, Tyler, you've been gone, my friend. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. But I don't know. I've seen a couple of postings, Roy, on that. The stream is popping off. Yeah, for some reason, even though it's like boring, but you know. Okay, so this is the user ID. I just want to test this route here. Stream's about to finish, though. I'm warning you. As much as I don't want it to finish, I got stuff to do. So let's see if this can be fetched. Cannot access requested resource. Interesting. Set user ID should be fine. Or wait, or am I inserting the user ID? Wait, just a second. I might not actually need to do that. User ID type. So it's the drive query, and then the drive controller. Oh, it should handle a user. Oh, okay. So I actually probably don't need to put this here. And then for API get file. Oh, and I also didn't update I didn't build this, right? So I need to build that first things first. And then, okay, so we still can't get the requested resource. So I'm assuming the file's not defined. So not 100% sure about that, because it should be the query theoretically should work, right? Path is there, and then the name. Let's console log this, because it might just be an empty. I don't even know if this is. My question was, is there demand for junior developers in the .NET backend field in Canada? Yeah, I honestly don't know. I've seen postings for it though. Okay, so there's not. We might not even be hitting this. Select file. But we're exporting it though. Can I have some advice, man? What's your top tips for new software streamer, like stream length? How do you plan what tasks you're tackling on stream? It's a bit of a long process, man. I've kind of done it through trial and error. I basically think about what needs to be done. I have a planner right here, which is just a Kanban board with different tasks that I work on for the stream, and I kind of just work my way through it, and you know, take suggestions from chat as well on what I should do and these sorts of things. So yeah, that's how I plan it. And I usually stream about 2.5 hours, but today was a little bit longer. How should I start web dev? Like any courses, or follow your videos from day one? You could do that, Roshan's, and also use the Odin Project as well. No worries. But yeah, all right. Anyway, I know the stream's exploding, and like, it's insane how much support this is getting. Holy shit. 3,500 views. That's insane. But you know, unfortunately I gotta end it here, because I've got stuff I gotta do. Hi, lead programmer here. Nice, macho. I gotta end the stream now because I got stuff to do. Love you, bro. Appreciate it. But you know, it was great while it lasted. You know, I go live 4 to 5 times a week. I also have members. I'm going to be starting supporters only streams. So I'm going to be doing that. What's my usual days? You can join the Discord to check that out. It changes week by week, Nemesis. But I post a schedule in my Discord at the beginning of every week to stream. So the next stream is going to be, I do have a job, yes, I work in IT. You can read my FAQ here. Yeah, so the next stream is going to be, I don't think till Wednesday, because we're going to be doing our members only stream on Monday, tomorrow, and then Tuesday I'm off, and then Wednesday I'll be back again, Wednesday evening my time. So you can check the Discord, it should translate to your time zone. I work in DeepMind. Like Google DeepMind? But yeah, that's where you can find my schedule. But anyway, I'll keep you guys posted. Anyway, thank you so much for all the support on the stream. This has been my biggest stream by a mile. So I don't know what happened with the the algorithm, but I appreciate each and every one of you, and I'll see you all shortly. Actually, on Wednesday, I'll see you tomorrow if you're a member, and I'll see you, or a supporter, and I'll see you on Wednesday if otherwise. So. have a great rest of your day, and thank you so much.